Welcome to the Starseed Awakening Show. This is the place where you come to expand your consciousness. I created this program to help you expand your consciousness. But first, for you that is new to the channel, let me explain who I am. I am a starseed, just like you. You probably don't know about. Many of you are not aware what Starseed is, but you already had an idea of that you didn't come here just to survive. You came here to thrive. You have been asking yourself, what is the purpose of work in a 8 to 5 job just to pay bills and buy things that you don't care, to impress people that you also don't care. You're probably asking yourself, it must have another way. And what is this other way? This other way you're going to learn here in this space. You see, everything that happened to you, absolutely everything that happened to you, is a direct response from whatever thoughts you entertain in your mind. It's simple as that. You create your reality moment by moment. So we are here every week. I'm gonna bring someone here to help you heal in a different way from the root of the cause. There is your mind. And the only way to heal the mind is by changing the perception. And today I have in the waiting room someone that's very unbelievable. He is incredible. I call him the super psychic. His name is Bobby, the psychic. And you're going to understand why I say that he is amazing. He is the fastest psychic and most accurate psychic I ever heard about. And he is here today to answer your questions. I will explain more about what I have in mind to this show that is starting today. But first, I am gonna invite Bobby in. I also have with me Joe and Jay. They will be asking Bob some questions, and you also gonna have a chance to ask your questions. Just leave on the chat in the comments, and please do in uppercase so it'll be easier for me to pick it up. Just join me to welcome Bob the Psychic. Hi, Bob.
Let me turn on my thing. Hold on. Unmute. Hi,
Yes.
how are you?
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I couldn't start this process, this program with anyone better than you.
Thank you.
Because we're gonna have, I know you'll be able to answer a lot of questions from the public because you are very, very fast. I
Yes.
know that Jay and Joseph, they are in the waiting room, so I let them come in now also.
Okay, great.
So how are you feeling today, Bobby? And how do you feel about this program? Actually, you
The
can start giving us
program
a
is,
message.
yeah, so the program is going to end up doing a lot of good and healing a lot of people. However, you may believe that it's getting off to a rough start. And just much of that is just around the energy and trying to get the momentum going. That right now you're kind of like the freight train at the train station and you're just leaving. So the engine is pumping and the wheels are spinning, but there's a lot of momentum yet. But by the fourth or fifth episode, they're saying you're going to be on fire. So the message for you is not to be disappointed if you feel like you didn't help enough people or enough people didn't come to the very first session. You're definitely on the right road, and this is going to help you in your own like personal journey and development also level up in a way or vibrate up because of the people that you're going to bring in who are going to be answering the questions. Plus, the audience that's coming is also going to feel that same sense of love and kindness and connection from the guests, but also you. So it's going to be a massive healing session for all that are involved, whether they're here now asking the questions or whether they're watching the replay, that the energy from the session will be beamed out even through the replays. So there will be a big replay audience also, and we would just suggest that those who are watching the replay and not watching this live to come and tune into the real thing and be able to and connect so that you can take advantage of the messages that so many of the guests that she will be bringing will bring to you, because it's an unprecedented way to connect to some people that you would not normally be able to connect with, and that they're more than happy to share their love, light, and gift with you in this arena.
Thank
Okay, did that make
you.
any sense? Because I have no idea what I
It
said. That's
does,
how that
it does,
works.
and I'm very happy to hear that what I intended to this program, will gonna accomplish, not just me, myself. I'm surrounded by amazing, amazing people, and I just created a community. It's the Starseeds Awakening community. That's a group of awakened starseeds that's already living the purpose, just like Bob. And today, Joe, I call him Joseph Michael, he's here to ask questions to Joe, to Bob, like personal questions. But later on, he'll be one of the guests too, because he also already in the path, he is already awakened. He's already also doing the work. And they have also Jay. I'm not sure if he'll be able to put his camera on. Oh, yes. How are you doing, Jay?
I'm good. How you doing? How's everyone? Hello.
Good.
Yay.
Hey, hey,
Hi,
hey.
Hello.
Joe. So
Guys.
let me line up a little bit about the session. Let me see if I already have anyone on the yes, amazing. I have two people watching at this moment. If you wanted to have your question answered by Bob, just leave your question on the chat that I will make sure that it gets to him. Meanwhile, I have here Joe and Jay. And Jay, are you ready to start with your question for Bob?
Sure. I mean, dive right into it, okay?
So, what would
What's your,
like
I'm sorry,
to
I missed
ask
that. What, do you
Bob?
have a question, Jay? What would you like to know?
Just give your background, Jay. When you ask a question to Bob, you can ask to any high vibrational being. You can ask a question to your mom if you want, or
Yeah.
to your higher self or Allah. He is very high vibrational. He has the ability to connect to anyone that can give the answer that you need to hear at this moment.
I'm gonna take my glasses off because I broke them and all the tape. It looks weird. Okay.
Yeah. My question was more with something to have to do with the past, a very toxic past, and something
Yeah,
to
let me
have
just
to,
give you some stuff on that. Hold on.
yeah.
So the message to you from the guides is you're still healing from that. And this is the
Yeah.
time of year, like the next 3 or 4 months, where you're really ready to, they're using the word like get yourself together, whatever that means to you. It's not meant in a judgmental or mean or condescending way. I think it's just the way they know to say that it's okay for you to, like what they're telling me is this is a time of like radical acceptance and just forgiveness. Like forgiving yourself for whatever it is that's going on or whatever that is. Yeah, it was not your fault, and we get that. But there is something about like forgiving the journey so that you can move forward and be on your path. It's kind of like you're on your path, but you're like standing there instead of like moving forward down the road. And this is the time for you to be like, okay, I learned that lesson there. I'm ready to move forward. There's so much great opportunity coming your way. It's like September, August this year, 20. They're saying it's in 2028. All right, well, that sucks because it's 2 years from now. But there's, although I could get the September wrong, but I feel like between now and then, that's when you're doing the healing and the shifting and all that. I feel like there's a career, well, it's not a career change, but there is some kind of move around you that's going to get you into the right place or the place that you like need to be. Let me just ask him, hold on. Does he know where this? I don't think you know where it is yet. So it might not have even appeared on your radar. Yeah, they're saying it appears next year. But I feel like that's something to know. Like you're not, if you're feeling like you're stuck in the mud right now, yeah, I got you kind of are, but that's okay because I feel like this is part of like they're calling it like the healing lesson. Like they did it to slow you down so then you could learn it's something about your own gift and like being grounded within yourself and being in that place of personal power. And I keep hearing in my head, tell them forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. So whatever that means to you, that's what I feel like I'm supposed to tell you. Did any of that line up?
Yeah, there was so much to digest. I'm letting it marinate.
Yeah, I go fast. I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
a lot lined up. It resonated a lot, because I mean, it's almost like I told you what was going on, and you just answered it.
oh, his guides
Yeah,
did.
that's why when I do this and I start hearing stuff about people, that's why I'm like rude and cut them off because I get all the time that I do that and I learned in the very beginning when that would happen like they would say a bunch of stuff I'm like, "Oh, I got that too." I realized, yeah, that's not fun. I want to have fun and help people, so that's why I did that. The big takeaway from that is something about the word forgiveness. I don't know if you need to, they're showing me it's like a letter to your inner child to like little I forgot what your name was because I'm terrible with that. Like your little guy inside, like writing like a love letter. I'm going to take care of you. I want to say it's might have something to do with about the age of 11. Whatever happened at 11, if something did, that might be related to this. But whatever it is, it's kind of like a letter to yourself saying, you're going to take care of yourself, how great you are. You have the confidence you can take care of this. You're going to be able to do it. And I feel like once you write the letter, okay, my witchy friend would say, fold it 3 times towards yourself. That's like so it goes inside your energy, and then is he supposed to burn it? I got no. They're telling me you're supposed to put it underneath your pillowcase for 3 days, then burn it. Okay, so whatever energy is in this letter and you folded it towards yourself 3 times, that's like putting it in your morphic field, and then put it under your pillowcase for 3 days and then go burn it and see. Yeah, because I feel like after you write it and then you read it out loud and then you fold it, you're not ever going to read it again. You're just like using the energy from it to help like heal.
Yeah, the letter they're talking about is something Joe on here knows as well. It's a very important letter, so I know exactly what this is referencing. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Anytime. You're whatever it is you're going to be fine. Like you're going to be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. That's great. And let me just tell the people that is watching what I want to go with this program. First, everyone, I'm asking for donation to do this work. But it's not just one way around. By the end of the transmission, I'm gonna choose 5 people to give 5 tickets to my workshop that are gonna happen tomorrow. It's an online workshop that you can do from any place in the world. The workshop is $55. You can donate as little as 299 and you can win the ticket. Whoever donates that doesn't win the ticket, you're gonna get a coupon code to get $22 off. And everybody else that is watching, the coupon code to get $11 off is Starseed, let me just double check here so I don't tell you wrong. Starseed 44. So if you want to enjoy the $11 off for the workshop, just in the checkout, you put Starseed 44 and you get $11 off. If you donate, you can be one of the 5 people that are going to win for free, or you can get $22 discount. Joe, how about, would you like Bob just to tell what's in your radar right now, or you have a question straight away for him?
Oh, Joe, let me give you some stuff, then ask me. You finally stepped up and becoming the healer and the believer that you are. You've understood how your gift works and you're ready to put it out there. You've seen how others do their thing and realize you're just like them. And in some cases, it's okay for you to believe, you know what, I'm better than that. And again, that's not like a judgmental ego thing. It's just like the way your gift works. So, like in some ways, I don't like your gift is better, whatever that means, than some of the people you've like been around. And it's okay for you to notice that. I feel like it's kind of like giving you confidence so that you know, yeah, I'm really just like them. That's what I keep hearing what it is, because I get that in the beginning, there was a lot of like less than beliefs, like, okay, know that I'm supposed to be doing that, but I'm less than them. Like I gotta go and do it for less money, or I gotta watch them do it so I can learn how to do it. Yeah, you already know. And I feel like in the last, is it 2 months? It might be 2 weeks, but it's good. They're saying it's 2 weeks, but let's just go with 2 months because 2 weeks seems pretty soon. But whatever that time period is with the number two in it, that's when you've like figured out and now you're going. And there's really nothing stopping you. And I get too that now that you've done it, like every time you do it, whatever it is you do, now you're going to vibrate even up higher. It's going to become easier. It's not going to be like a struggle to figure out how to connect and get going and whatever that mindset is. And they're telling me, oh, so like the way I do this now, a year ago, yeah, I could do it, but not the way I'm doing it now, where I can just jump in and tell people stuff. Or maybe it's 2 years ago. But whatever that time limit is, it's just because I've done it so much and I just know. And I don't say that I know because I'm being like an ego person, but I just know that I know. And I feel like that's kind of what the message I'm supposed to tell you. And then if people say to you, oh, that doesn't make sense, or it didn't line up, or whatever it is, that's okay. Because the way I look at it for me in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I don't know. Now I look at it like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong, but also there could be a chance they just couldn't hear me. Like they're not ready to hear that message, or I was saying something that was a little farther off. That's why when I say to people, does that resonate? And I get their answer, I can tell by whatever their answer is, whether they're like being honest or truthful or just the look on their face like this. I think that's why I read with my eyes closed. So if that helps you in some way, yeah, you're fine. The other thing I got is I haven't seen you set up at an expo. I know we're all going to meet at an expo eventually. I got the half the stuff you bring, you're not going to bring after a while. Like you just don't need it. So if that makes any sense to you, hopefully that helps.
It really does. I do
Really?
have
Yeah.
one
So and
question.
it even I just say even when I say that kind of stuff, and I'm like, really? It's totally sincere. Like, really? Okay. Because sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, that sounds crazy to me. That can't be right. But yeah.
No, because like that's it. Like I really feel like my vibration, the vibration that I hold actually does the work. And if I bring all the rest of this stuff, it really doesn't. I just bring it as like psyching myself up to be doing exactly what it is that I do.
Right. So, for example, for me, I'm a tarot reader, right? I'm a card reader, and I used to bring like all sorts of junk to put on the table next to me. Now I'm like so minimalistic. Like, okay, I got my cards, I got my little sign. Yeah, that's about it. I'm like, because I don't need anything else. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
all that other stuff was just garbage. I mean, people are going to come to me because they look at me, they see my face, or they're attracted to me, or you watch them walk around the room and then they come up to you because they know they're supposed to talk to you. Or after a while, you'll realize you'll see people walking around the room like, oh, I know I'm supposed to talk to that person. And 2 seconds later, they're right in front of you. That happens
Yeah.
all the time to me. Yeah. So, like, so
Yeah.
on this Vegas thing I'm going to this week, I'm going to Soul Search. I'm going to bring barely anything, like my tablecloth, my banner, my sign, my cards. I think that's about it because I don't need, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just there and people, they know what they need. Like, I don't need like a big flashing sign or whatever because I just don't anymore. And I feel like that helps with my gift too, because I'm like really present then, like not trying to hide behind something. This is all brand new because the marketing person I met was like, oh, you should go in all in on this Bob the Psychic thing. So I've had this shirt now 24 hours. I've worn it in all my readings and like events because I'm kind of like, I'm wearing it really to get used to it and the idea that it's there. So this weekend when I wear it and people are looking at me like that, I'm like, okay, that's okay. I don't know. I hope that helps. Go ahead. So, what do you want to know? I kind of totally cut you off and derailed it right there.
It's fine. Because I've been really having this thought come to my head, and it's been coming to me for quite some time now. But the question is, am I supposed to go help kids with terminal illnesses in hospitals?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on,
I
Joe.
feel
You're
like
talking
though
about.
you
I'm
might not
sorry.
be ready yet. It's something with the protocol. Like in your own, like I want to say your own, like I want to use the word ego, but like in your own soul, like you feel it's important not to like wing it. So I feel like whatever the protocol is, just figure out what it is before you get there. And my guides are saying that, yeah, you're gonna do that maybe 30 seconds and then you're gonna wing it. But I feel like it's important for you not to walk in thinking, oh my God, I'm winging it. No, you know what you want to do. And there's like 6 areas or 6 things, something on the number 6. I think it's activities, maybe. Whatever that is, I feel like that's what you're going to do. You're going to end up doing more. But I think in your head, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and this, and that, like that. But I got that after like the first person, or it might even be the first person, you just start winging it after that because you're going to be able to connect to whoever you're talking to and give them what it is they need. And they're giving me the example in my head. So my example in my head is so I've been doing this forever. But when I meet nurses and I'm like, oh, you know, what kind of work do you do, nurse? Oh, are you NICU, like ICU for kids? And they're like, yes. How'd you know? I'm like, I usually say, then I say, the reason you do it is you talk to the kids, right? They talk to you, and they're like, yes. How'd you know? That's the same thing I want to tell you. So it's not a verbal thing, but you're going to be able to communicate with them and hear what it is they need. Even if they can speak, you're going to hear like their soul talking. And when
Yeah,
you hear it the first few times, it's going to be quiet and you're going to be like, what was that? Go with me on this. Oh, I'm getting the chills. Yeah, that's it. And eventually it gets louder. Like with my gift, it is loud now when I use it, or sometimes I don't even hear it, it just comes straight out. That's when my eyes are closed and I start talking really fast. That's it. Does that help? Did that answer it?
Yeah.
absolutely. No, so like there's this movie that I keep watching. It's like a replay movie. It's called The Healer. And it's where this guy doesn't really understand his gifts, but then he starts to they show him as to who he is, and then he doesn't really accept it at the beginning, but at the by the end of it, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready, and because he had the
You know
opportunity to
that's
sit
your
with.
story, right? It is your story. Yeah, come on. You had to have known. I mean, I heard that right away. I'm like, yeah, but intuitively, Bob, the guy, was like, oh, come on, that's his story. But maybe that's why you needed to watch it because that's you. The other thing I heard on the healing work, there's some kind of disclosure or release or something you're supposed to have. I don't know what that is. And I've never said that to anyone else before. And I don't even know any healers that use a release, but there is some kind of release thing you're supposed to have. I don't know what it is. Is it a release? I got that it is a release. We'll have to figure out who that is. We must know amongst our people who to talk to ask what the release is supposed to say, but I'm just not sure. Oh, I know who it. Okay, remind me. I know who you can. I'll ask her for you. Remind me. It's my friend Liz. I'll ask her. I'm because she does this work all the time at Phoenix Children's Hospital, and she goes to Barrows, the neurological cancer center, whatever brain stuff, and she helps put kids under hypnosis so they can do surgery on them. I feel like it's some kind of I don't know if she has a release, but she might. It's something down those lines. And I feel like it's just there to take pressure off you because you're doing like energy healing work. It's not like we're a doctor. We're going to play
No,
one on TV though. And that way they can, because it's like, so they can't come back at you and say, oh, you're subject to the wrong. That's what I feel like it is. It's almost like E&O insurance, but it's not real insurance. It's some kind of release thing.
okay, I love that. Thanks,
Yeah.
Cool.
thanks,
And
Bob.
I'm thinking too, you're never, here's what, yeah, one more thing on that. You're never going to have to use it. Like no one's going to come back at you, but I feel like this is like the protection and that it sets like a boundary and expectations for whoever you're working on.
And then should I charge for that stuff, or should I just go in on free will?
No, it's charge.
Okay.
No, we got to charge because it's an
Okay.
energy exchange. So right now, our energy exchange, we're just exchanging energy with each other. But yeah, that's why I charge for my readings because it's energy exchange. Like, okay, my energy is doing this for you. Your energy is going to do this for me. And most people, if unless they're here, like Eleanor and I, we trade all the time. And that's why, like, so she doesn't feel like when she's talking to me that she's getting taken advantage of, and I make sure I talk to her that so she doesn't. Yeah, so it's an energy. Yes, so you need to get paid somehow. Yeah.
There
Okay.
is
Because if
2
you do it
forms.
for free, two things happen. One, at the end of the day, you're gonna feel like you got taken advantage of. And two, I feel like for the other person, it kind of gives them whatever blood. What's the expression? Something in the game, like teeth in the game. That's not it. But whatever that expression is, like they're in the game, like they have an investment. They're invested in what the outcome is, or they're invested in this information. It's not just over their head and they don't care because it is truly a gift and we're really sharing with people from that place of love, light, and compassion, and they need to respect it in that way. Again, that's not an ego thing. It's just talking about like respecting the universe and what we have. Like, okay, Eleanor, she's an amazing healer. I mean, I felt it. I know. I saw her do it at the LA Consciousness Expo. She's like knocking people out they're like out. So, and then in exchange, they have to do something for her so that way she doesn't feel like she's getting taken advantage of. And it's like reciprocal. Is that the word? Yeah, reciprocal.
So just
Yeah.
There is 3 things that I like to tap in. There is, let me see how many people we have right now. Oh, we had 3. Now we
Yeah,
have
happy to talk to
1.
them.
So just if you'd
Second.
like a question answered by Bob, just leave in the chat that we're gonna address later. And there is 3 things. Most of us, we are a starseed. Right now, Jay don't even know what is a starseed. Do you know what starseed is, Jay? Okay, let me explain first what a starseed is. To understand what a starseed is and why we came here, first we need to understand what is happening to the planet right now. You think that the world went crazy, and it probably did, but for a good reason. And let me explain the astrological part first. That's our Earth, and the moon rotates around the Earth. Everybody knows that. Now, here is the sun, and the Earth goes around the sun. It takes 365 days a year. What many people never stop to think about is that we live in a galaxy, and our sun also rotates around something. And that something is called Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiadian constellation. And to do a complete loop, it takes about 26,000 years. But the cool part is Alcyone also rotates around something. Because Alcyone is so big, its rotates get pulled by the central sun of the galaxy. And there is 3 sisters that we can see from Earth. They are the Sirius stars, and they rotate around the central sun of the galaxy together, side by side. And this take 200, I think, 35,000 light years, something like that. I forgot, but it's a lot of time. So the very interesting thing that's happening is from the central sun, there is a photon belt that goes through space, past the Sirius stars, and do a complete loop around Alcyone, a vertical loop. Everything in the Milky Way galaxy rotates horizontally. But this belt comes horizontally and then give a loop around Alcyone, a vertical loop. So all the astros that goes around Alcyone cross this belt twice. And with the speed that our sun and our planet rotates, it takes about 2,000 years each time. what that has to do with anything that's happening right now. This light has a very, very high vibration, and everything that exists has energy that vibrates. That light vibrates above 500, that's love, the vibration of love. So anything, fear is 150. If anything that's holding a fear vibration try to cross this belt, it will not be able to. So what is happening at this moment, we are almost completely inside of this photon belt. And there is a lots of fear is still going on. There is a lot of people still with trauma. And those people, they need to release all those traumas. They need to release all that fear in order to cross the photon belt. And if you heard about Atlantis, Atlantis sank exactly when Earth was crossing the belt for the last time. You see, 26,000 years, and then it's taken 2,000 years in the crossing the belt, and then you have 11 years of darkness, and then the 40 years of light. So the last time the planet crossed that belt was the time of Atlantis. And the people from Atlantis was holding a very low vibration with very, very bad intentions. So that's why Atlantis fell, Atlantis sank. Of course, there was a survivor. The planet itself didn't get destroyed, we're still here. But the idea was to now we are going to the fifth dimension of the planet. What happened in 1945, Second World War? And somebody decided to play with nuclear bombs. The problem wasn't just those two bombs. It was terrible, but the problem wasn't just that. All the other countries that was already playing with nuclear bombs, they start secretly testing. And the planet itself was about to get destroyed. So there was intervention from the Galactics, from the Watchers, the high vibrational beings that oversee us. They're not supposed to intervene unless we are trying to destroy the planet. So that's what they did. They come to the governments of those countries and they said, you better stop. You need to stop or we stop you. And they stopped. But at that moment, the planet was holding a very, very low vibration. On the time of Atlantis, there was many people that was vibrating under love that could not cross the belt. But the planet itself was still holding the vibration of love and would be able to move through. But in 1945, the planet itself was taking the risk of not being able to cross the belt. And that would not be allowed. That's why there wasn't a call through the universe. The Earth needs help. And somebody had an amazing, brilliant idea of, okay, we cannot intervene from the outside, so let's intervene from within. So high vibrational beings, like I'm talking about archangels, I'm talking about aspects of source directly. I'm talking about Sophia and many high ascended masters like Jesus, Mary Magdalene. They incarnated in the planet. And for those beings, when they incarnated, their DNA was enhanced to be able to come with more light, holding a higher vibration. That's why we call them starseeds. Some came from the astral realms, others from other planets, from the higher dimensions, but other planets, what we call ETs. So that's why we are called children from the stars. And Jay, you probably think you are not, but you are one of us. You are a starseed too. And one thing that we are doing that's very important at this moment, there is our mission, there is many layers in our mission. The first one is with our one family. Each one of us chose a specific family with the task of liberate that family lineage from suffering, transmute all the traumas, clear the DNA. It's a real task, but that's what we signed up to do. And everything that you are doing, Jay, right now, you're not doing just for you. You are cleaning up your whole family lineage. And when you get to the other side, you are also healing the past and the future. And after we do at least a great part of that work of liberate our own suffering and the suffering of our family, when we heal, and then it's time for us to get activated and start our mission. What I mean by getting activated, those lights that come from the central sun, we, Starseeds, will be the first one to receive that light. Receive in our one body, anchor into the planet, and slowly spread it to whatever is awakening. Because if that light would go straight to them right now, for example, you are still struggling a lot, Jay, at this moment. If you get all the light at this moment, what would happen is all the traumas, everything that you're still cleaning up, they would come all rushing out to the surface. And that would not serve any good because our human brain and emotions, we have some limitations. We need to do some healing step by step. And the healing is always of the mind. We change a perception about something, and then you need to give yourself time to adjust. After you adjust, and then you can go to the next one. And that was the main reason why I'm creating this, and why I created this podcast. I already interviewed Joe and Bob, and now I created this modality of podcast where we come here, and we're gonna really serve the community. Before it was just an introduction so people know who we are, but now we are really serving. We want to help people that have questions. We want people to understand that they cannot keep outsourcing their healing. Every time they get sad, they cannot go to a pill that's not going to solve the problem. There is other ways, and yes, you need to take responsibility in each one. But there is many ways, and we are here to help. And one question that Bob answered for you, Jay, for example, many people resonate with. Many people. And that's the biggest difference that are going to happen. And for this workshop, for example, the first one that I chose, you have two people right now. If you are listening to me and if you have a question to Bob, You don't really need to identify yourself. We don't need your full name, date of birth, etc. We don't need nothing of that because when you ask your question, your higher self knows who you are, and you tell Bob who you are, and you tell Bob also what you need to hear from Bob. So just leave your question if you have any. If not, that's okay. You're welcome to the show. And I appreciate if you subscribe. Now, let me show what I'm talking about. The workshop you're gonna have this Wednesday, tomorrow. So when you go to the awakeningpath.me, you come down a little bit, and then you have here, releasing traumas. Where your traumas come from? Your traumas come from your childhood, believe it or not. There is traumas that started when you were still in the tummy of your mom. Yes, so far away. But there is some that happened even away before from previous life. And there is others that your family is carrying the DNA for more than many, many generations. Can you just my dog is scratching the door, but somebody took a hand. So in this session, in this workshop, I will cover all the three origins of traumas, this life, past life, and epigenetics. It's 1 hour, but I stay a little longer after the session. First, I explain about. After the session, whoever wants to continue, I will stay another 30 minutes to answer questions and people want to share. So that's what the workshop is about. And Jay, do you have another question? I think Jay fell a little bit. Joe, do you have another question?
I I really I really don't at this point. Like I really feel like Bob's done very well answering the
Oh, that's
questions that I
okay.
have.
So let
So
me ask a question for the collective. Um, Bob, what does the higher consciousness want to tell for people that are suffering at this moment with any source of illness?
Of course, of illness, like people who are
Yes,
sick.
yes,
The sickness is a reminder that the body is hurting and that there is a lesson for them in the sickness. The sickness, in some cases, is a result of the action of the human not taking care of the body and soul and not listening to the signals that were given to the higher consciousness about what needed to be worked on or what needed to be given nutrition or what needed to be healed in some ways. In some cases, some of the humans come across into this lifetime with the sickness, that is their journey, that they chose to go through that process to truly know what healing is, either in this lifetime or when they get to the other side. So many of them wanted to experience whatever this pain or angst or agony is. And even though they would say, if you ask them that that sounds crazy, the truth is, though, that somehow they chose that for themselves and that they will realize this choice and this sense of connection to the collective and the whole universe once they, if it turns out to be a fatal disease, something when they pass on the other side. For many people, the struggle that they are in is something of their own doing. That yes, they can blame surroundings and parents and whatever they want to blame, but a lot of it is their own doing in some ways, either not listening to their highest self or not listening to the universe as it tried to heal the trauma and the pain and change the direction that the person was going in at that time. So we cannot say that sickness or illness is like brought on to someone from an external point of view. We want to say it really comes internally. However, there are some cases like diseases like measles and COVID, where yes, that came externally, and that was not something that the people who are receiving that came to get or anything like that. That is just some of it is from some of those diseases are still spreading because of the ego of some of the people who don't believe in what healing can be. That they are looking at the healing that is available and saying that it is wrong or faulty or manipulative or whatever it is that they're saying about it. That is completely inaccurate. Because however the healing comes, that's how it comes. Some people need it in the more magical, spiritual, miraculous way. Others people's need it in the place of medication and in some of the things that man has invented to help heal the body itself. It just depends on what the human's belief is in that case. However, one of the things going on now is this sense of being forced to believe one way or the other, like either this is good or this is bad. And we would say that is never going to get the answer or bring the highest good out. That it needs to be a collective consciousness decision, not a decision made by those who think they know all the answers when in fact they do not. And they are aware that they don't know the answers and that they are only in those positions of power or strength because of their own ego and their sense of the narcissism and needing that sense of like accolades, which does not put them in a place of love, light, kindness, and caring. That those who heal are like that those who are healed, that's the space that they maintain in. So we are saying this to you so that when you look at where some of these information comes from, ask yourself, are these people or the place where this information is coming from, are they in a place of love and light and caring, or are they in a place of manipulation and control and you know, praising deities of some sort, whatever that means to you? Because if they're in that light, you intuitively know that is not of the light and that is not truly healing the way that you, the person, the collective, deserves to have from all of us who are surrounding this universe and truly all of the galaxy. Okay, did any of that make sense? I have no idea. Like it sounded like gobbledygook in my head, so I don't know what that was.
I love that totally, like
I
Bob,
have
because like
music.
that's exactly what I've been like understanding so much lately is like how people's traumas, how their suppressed emotions, how all the stuff from all their life has literally built up and created these illnesses inside the person's body.
Yeah, because the illness, like for example, one of the things I know, this is my friend Liz, who's a shaman and healer, says my mom passed away from colon cancer, and and that happens to be the number one killer of women, which I didn't know till that happened. But I wonder, I said to Liz, I'm like, is that because women are just taught to hold it in and not say something? And she's like, yeah. I mean, that's her belief. I mean, whether that's medically accurate, I couldn't tell you. But it's an interesting thought that that's the thing that kills the most women. It's not breast cancer. It's not, but it's like the place where we're doing all the releasing and getting rid of all the blech that's in our bodies. And if they can't release it because they've been told, oh no, you don't do that, and then they get sick, that's kind of like, excuse me, what it is. It's interesting now that I'm belching. So one of the things that's come to me, which happens all the time when I'm doing readings, is that belch thing going on. I only do it during readings. And it's always when I'm like saying something to the person that it lined up, like their body is doing a release. So someone or something just had a release, an energetic release, whether they realized it or not. And that's how my body like processes it. So I don't feel like it's us. I feel like it's the collective that did that because
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was either one of you that where it came from because it felt like it came from like the whole screen, not just like one little area where I see you guys.
Yes, energy is very powerful and is not bounded by space and time. But
Right.
it is something very interesting that the daughter of Dolores Cannon, she wrote a book. And by the way, I just opened a bookstore. It's an online bookstore, and I also selling on the expos, where I am putting here only books that I read myself that assisted my one awakening. So if you want to support my work and also expand your awareness, come to the bookshop.org, Christ Consciousness. I will put the link on the description. I supposed to have, but I forgot. And the book of Dolores Cannon's daughter is Soul Speaks. Let me just go. Oh, and it was right there. This book here, it tells you that all sickness in your body has a direct connection to a thought. For example, problem in your knee, what your knee does for you? It's help support your body, literally, and also help with direction. So if you're afraid that you're not able to support yourself, or if you're feeling stuck, you want or being called to take a different direction, but you are not having the courage to, so you have problems in your knee, and so on. So it's a very, very interesting book. I recommend specifically for healers because you're going to understand a lot, but for the individual person also that is healing, is not healer, but is healing. I really recommend this book. It's amazing, amazing. And Bob, I would like to show your website.
Oh, thank you.
And for you that would like to have a reading with Bob, I can only tell you one thing. Don't come with only 3 questions because they get answered very quick. I usually have 1 hour reading with Bob and I run out of questions. I'm a woman and I'm a Leo. I speak a lot. I always have a lot of questions. For me to run out in question, you have an idea. Bob, did you create any special combo service
No,
to?
I did not for this. I forgot.
Okay,
So yeah, I did not.
yes, but Bobby will come back. The idea is if he's available and willing to bring Bob every 2 months to this work until he wants to. And I really invite you to go and look at his website. If you want a reading, a 30 minutes reading, I guarantee you probably want to pay him more
Thank you.
because you're going to run out in questions in 30 minutes. You better prepare at least 5.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say, one of the most popular things, the one that says blog/Monday Motivation, that is free. And that is a email that you would get on a Sunday night. And it's Monday Motivation. So it's a channel message from my guides, like I've been doing here, directly in your inbox. And there's a blog post, you can read it, or you
Wow.
can click on one of these things and then watch it on the website. I have about 2,000 subscribers, and if
Oh,
I miss a week or something like that, people go crazy. So it's very popular, and I highly recommend you can sign up for it either right on this page where it says blog Money Motivation, but also on the front page of the website. As you scroll down, there's a place that says my free message, or there's a pop-up that will come up and allow you to, just give me your information. I think I'm just taking like first name, last name, email. I'm not taking a whole bunch of stuff for that. The other thing I was going to say is, since I do it over Zoom, doesn't matter where you are in the country or the world, we can do it that way because I do it over Zoom. All my readings are over Zoom. I don't do them in person because I just don't have a space to do it. But that's my story. I really appreciate
let
this.
me
Thank
ask
you.
you another question. Do you
Sure.
speak any other language?
Do I what?
Do you speak any other language?
No, I only speak English, unfortunately.
Oh, that's okay. The whole world speak English.
Yeah,
In my case, I speak English, Portuguese, and Spanish, and all my work is in English, Portuguese, and Spanish.
yeah.
So one day I'll be doing what I'm doing in English. I probably gonna do in Spanish and in Portuguese also. But
I feel like they're
later on.
telling me it's supposed to be in Portuguese. Is there a large Portuguese? I know Spanish is everywhere, but is Portuguese everywhere too? Because I feel like it's supposed to be in Portuguese.
Well, there is Portuguese. I'm from Brazil, and At this moment, I don't know many healers in Brazil. I'm more connected to the ones in Spanish at
Oh,
this
okay.
moment, but I think that will benefit a lot the Brazilian community
Yeah.
because even though they are the spiritism in Brazil is very popular. People understand about channeling and they are connected to the spiritual and psychics. But here we develop something that is more expanded. And when you try to keep things separated, that's when the problem lies because everything really needs to be connected. The
Makes sense to me.
spirituality, whatever reality, material, physical that we have, and cosmic, everything is connected. And to really thrive, if you understand how things work, and then that's how you end suffering.
Okay.
Let me see how many people I have at this moment. Okay, people are coming and goes. That's okay. Let's ask another question about anxiety and stress, also for the collective. That's the main, I would say that's the pandemic. The real pandemic at this moment is anxiety and stress.
I'm hearing it's uncertainty.
Uncertainty,
Yeah.
that's the root cause. Would they have any tip on what would be the first step for people to get out or start healing?
The first step in terms of healing the anxiety is they're saying is disconnection. Disconnecting from the part of the world that is causing that anxiety or uncertainty. That many of the people who are feeling this anxiety or uncertainty, the anxiety and uncertainty are about things that are not in their control. It might be like something going on the other side of the world or on the planet in general. It's not something in their own like wheel box or wheelhouse in some way. And so we would say to you that the easiest way to deal with some of this anxiety is to let those thoughts and those situations go. We're not saying you're not supposed to be involved with them and you're supposed to be ignoring it, but there is something about setting a boundary or a limit to how much of that information you take in or that you share with others, whatever that means to you. That by limiting that, you allow the goodness and the consciousness of yourself and your own happiness to fill that space. So you're not filled with the space of the angst, like completely filled with the space of the angst and the uncertainty of those who are in positions of power and may not know exactly what they're doing or may not realize the ramifications of their short-term thoughts. Whereas you, as someone who's feeling this anxiety, can see further down the road and go, wait a minute, by doing X, it's going to create Y and Z, even though the person who started whatever the X is may not have seen it that way. We are not judging or talking about politics or being specific about anyone in general. We're just saying in general that this is what is the easiest way for you to do. It's almost like you're ready to take the circle or the boundary around you and just bring it in tighter. It's also a good time to remember to spend time in peace and spend time in meditating in some way. Now, many people would say, oh, that meditation thing, it's really complicated or it's really whatever it is. We would say, no, it could be as simple as sitting outside in the moonlight at night and just taking deep breaths, or taking off your shoes and socks and walking in the grass every morning, or going up to a tree and standing on the roots and kind of hugging the tree and asking the tree, what message do you have for me? And again, we know that some of you watching would be like, that sounds like not that like crazy. But no, the truth is that is truly a way to connect with yourself and with the universe in general. So the best advice we have in summary is just about connecting with your highest self in the universe and leaving that low vibration. All the other worries are the things that you cannot control, just leaving them outside of yourself. That makes sense. And did you notice
Wow,
I
that's
started belching during
amazing.
that? So there must have been something because I started belching during that.
Oh, yes, then the healing is happening.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for the message you gave me in the beginning. That's kind of put my ego to rest a little bit. And I want to tap in on the subject because it's all about training. We literally had been set up to suffering because we think that, I don't think anymore, if you close your eyes to ignore that there is children dying of hungry in Africa, you're not you're not human, you're being whatever. But that's not mean you know things happen that's far away from you. First you think, okay, what can I do about? Is there anything at this moment that I can do about? If you can, if you're in a position that you can, so go and do it. The second one is, okay, I cannot do anything about, but there is something that I can always do. Send my love and prayer. Expend a good 3, 5 minutes. Sending love to the situation. Send love, embracing that people that are suffering the white light. Seeing them being helped by the angels, Jesus, archangel, whatever deity that you believe. You can always do that and not gonna take much time. And the third thing that they even hide from us, when you keep just repeating and say, "Oh, they are suffering. I have to suffering too," and go there extending that suffering, actually, you're not helping them. Just make things worse. But when you, okay, I cannot do anything about, I already said my prayer. Now I'm gonna live my own life. I will take care of the things that I can take care. That is in my range. When you get clarity and peace to your heart, your vibration rise, and because we share the same consciousness, you are directly helping those people and situations too. You help much more in, let's say, even egoistically, because they use that name selfishness against us, strongly against us. And this is something that's completely misunderstood. Self-love, self-care is not being selfish. So when you do that, when you take care of yourself, take care of your one vibration, automatically you're helping humanity. Automatically you're helping those in need. If you're gonna turn to them and not say just ignore them, pretend they don't exist, you always have the power to pray for them. But when you take like 30 minutes of your day, 1 hour, 3 hours, just to be sorry for them, to complain, to lower your vibration, and by lowering your vibration, lower the vibration of everybody, the collective too. I'm sorry, you're not really helping. But you were taught that that's the right thing to do. But I'm telling you, it's not. I went a little too passionate about that. Joe, do you have any question? You can ask for the collective too if anything comes to your mind.
What can you tell me about the solar flash?
The solar, I've never heard of it, so we'll just see what I get. Hold on. The solar flash is an interesting concept that those of the highest vibration understand. It is almost like the skin, the truly outer skin of the human body that is outside. It is more in the energetic field. So it's not something that is seen by the human eye because of the vibration that it's at. Each person and each being has this solar flesh all around them. It was used in the past before they came here to protect them from radiation and whatever else was out in space. But once they made it through the barrier and made it onto this planet with the gravity and the healing and the oxygen and the warmth of the sun, the star, the solar flesh was truly like not necessarily needed anymore. So right now, it is something that may not be needed, but it is a good protection, and that people who have the strongest sense of this solar flesh or the strongest, the thickest solar flesh are in some ways are more, just more protected than others. And the protection we are speaking of is kind of like energetic protection, like making sure there's always positive energy around them. It's not necessarily like, something negative or bad that comes through if you don't have it. Everybody does have it though. And it's just kind of something that's hanging out there, and there's molecules and things that are bouncing off it that are helping you be more strong or grounded within yourself. Those who have the weaker version of this solar flex, we want to say seem to get sicker easier or have lower immune system in some ways. It has something to do with the immune system within the human body and human system, that the stronger the flesh is, the stronger their immune system is. This is about the best way for us to explain it given the current science understanding, or the way to put it into words that humans understand.
I
Oh yeah,
have
did that make
my
any sense at all? I have no idea.
I have my one explanation for that. What you said, it makes all sense. Um,
When I had my eyes
all,
closed, it looked like it was like a circle
yeah.
around
All
everybody.
information has many ways to see. It's like which lens you're gonna put on, which part you're gonna focus on. And the solar flare that many people, especially on the spiritual community, are referring to is we are almost inside of the photon belt at this moment. And that light comes first to our sun and then hits the earth. And who gonna receive first will be the star seeds. The one, especially the ones that's already doing the work, that's cleansing their body of all the toxins, that is already capable of process more energy through the body. And there will be some times, Ismael Perez say this will be like 3 times where there will be a certain days that that energy you felt strongly, and there will be a major shift on those people that is already ready. So there will be one layer, and then it will happen again, and then there will be the final one where it will be completely inside the photon belt. But there's nothing to worry about for you that's watching. You don't need to worry about. The only thing that you need to worry about is healing yourself. And I have a great tool for you to start your own healing. I could say it's my Reiki. My Reiki really helps too. A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles help you, will help release all the fear-based programming from your mind and reconnect you to love through the practice of forgiveness. You're gonna start to see the world in a different way. It'll be easier to forgive yourself, it'll be easier to forgive others, and you'll be more peaceful and happier. You're gonna understand what is your purpose. You don't believe in me? Just try for 1 week and a month. Try a month. If nothing happened, then you can stop. Wow. Times goes by really fast. We already in 1 hour, 1 hour and 12 minutes. I will ask just one more question for the collective because I don't have all the money. I It's been about almost 5 years that I was fired from my job because I refused to take. I didn't came back to the matrix, and I completely reinvent myself. Now I can say that I have a career, I have a purpose, I'm doing so many things, and only now money start to coming. But when you are in alignment, I don't really feel like. And I'm not really worried that the gasoline is over $5. I'm not really worried. But what the higher conscience has to say about the financial situation, because there is so many people worried about.
The financial situation is going to heal itself. It will not be until the end of 2027, going into 2028, because of the way the shocks to the system have been brutally sent through, especially within the last 3 months or so. However, for those who are worried about it right now, just know that this too will pass. And in terms of the lack of economic ability or to pay or whatever you would want us to say this to you, we want to say that it's going to be okay. And even though you may have to stop doing some things because there will not be enough, it's not energy, enough abundance around you to do all of those things, it will be interesting to see what it is that you cut out. And then when the abundance comes back, whether you actually bring those things back into your being and back into your circle. So our suggestion is, or our thought process is that as you're looking to trim back, should you need to, you will look and you will trim back the things that truly may not be necessary at the end of the day. Yes, they may be something that brings joy or comfort or happiness, but are they really needed in a way? And we want to say the answer on that one is no, and those are the first areas to consider. We don't want to say cut them out, but we feel like it's scaling back so that you can still, what is the expression, do more with less in some ways. We know that many of you, that the words we are saying may not line up because there is such a gap between the amount of abundance or the pot right here versus all of the things you need to do and buy. But we would say there are some things that you most likely can give up in a way and become more austere, and that decision actually may bring new health and happiness and joy into your life. It may not look like it right now, but once you do it and start being that way and release the, oh, I used to be able to do that and blah, 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 whatever that is, when you release that, you'll be in a much happier and more grounded place than you could have ever imagined. So basically, our message is to look at this from the bright side in some way. Again, it is not something that you can control, so it is not worth getting all riled up about it because there's no release or no way to kind of like set that up to release it from you once you allow it in. So we would suggest two things. Like we said sooner, the part about, looking at the things to cut out that you don't truly need. And then when the time comes to bring them back in, do you really want to do that? Or could you channel that abundance and that effort into some other area of your life that actually gives you greater joy? The thing we want to bring up the most, which is the most common one, is using the example of the coffee shop, the Starbucks. Again, no slam on Starbucks here, but Starbucks is expensive. And if you're going every day because, oh, I just want my coffee, if you look at how much you're spending every week there, that's going to be a shocking number. So cutting that down to maybe once a week, or maybe it's 3 days a week, whatever it is, will help. It's the little changes like that that will help get you more in alignment with your own personal goals and your own personal happiness. So we want to say the main message is to continue looking within yourself and at yourself to be able to make the shifts and changes you need to make. We do not think this message applies to all who are watching this, but to those that it does apply to, just know that there's hope and support out there for you, that this too will end. It may not be till a year now, 27 though, but by the time that time comes, you'll be so used to it that it might not even make a difference that you're suddenly able to go back and do some of those things. Makes sense?
That's amazing. It's helped a lot. Bob, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really
love
enjoyed it.
you.
If you want to find me, my website, it's bobthepsychic.com.
Yes, and for you that's watching, just go to the Want to Expand Your Consciousness, get some books with discount on the bookshop, shop Christ Consciousness, the link will be on the description. And your first purchase, you get 20% off. So get the main books that you want to start your journey and take advantage of this discount. They usually try to compete with Amazon, so you always gonna find discounts on the books there. Joseph, I'd like to thank you also for coming. Thank you for your support. And thank you, Bob. It was amazing. I'm very grateful for you to be in my journey.
My pleasure. Thank you for being in mine too. You're a great healer.
You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for you that was watching, even though you didn't have any question, that's okay. If you would like to be inside the Zoom, go to my website, theawakeningpath.me, and send me a message from the contact page. Just say, I want to be inside the Zoom for next Tuesday. And I will put you in. Thank you, everyone. And welcome to this new modality of healing, growth, and expansion. Much love and light to you, and see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
I think that was great. Let me just stop the